You're about to watch a sit-down interview with the YouTuber Camicees and myself. We talk about everything from how I got started, how I built a big full-time income in freelancing, and how you guys can get rich as a freelance video editor and do the same. Without further ado, no questions gonna be off limits here as we discuss how we blew up, how we scaled, and how we get rich as video editors if we were doing it all again from the beginning. Without further ado, let's get into the interview.
Tell me what happened with your family in 2008.
I lost our house in the 2008 market crash. So if you ever watched the movie The Big Short, that shit literally happened to my family. For the first 8 years of my life, I grew up in a 3-bedroom house, 2-car garage, had a pool, but obviously they were giving mortgages to anybody, right? So when reality kicked in, reality hit us. And our reality wasn't actually a 3-bedroom house with a pool and a 2-car garage. Our reality was 4 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment. Me and my brother had the bedroom, and my mom and my dad had a bed in the living room. It was fucking crazy. And then eventually we came to the UK.
Well, what challenges did you face with the 2008 crash then?
Bro, the challenges probably was all the kids in Miami that I was at school with who had lit houses. So like my boy Justin Twist, I'd go to his house, bro. He had a fresh fucking crib. I had this friend whose dad was a restaurateur called Andrew Grimaldi. He had I remember this vividly, he had a snow cone maker in his house and a movie theater, bro. And after that shit, right, we're doing the play date, he's like, yo, like, next time I'll come to your crib. I'm living in a 1-bedroom house, bro. He's got a fucking, 10-bedroom crib.
What were you feeling, though, when they said come to your house?
Bro, I was feeling like, they can't see my crib, like, fuck that, what are they going to think when they see my crib, bro? It's crazy. So, yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, like, that's where my hunger came from, straight up. Like, there was a couple key moments, throughout my life where hunger was created, or the divide was kind of obvious of like, they have it, I don't have it. And then that kind of built it in myself where as soon as I became conscious of the fact my parents weren't necessarily going to get this stuff for me, I realized that I had the response to do it myself.
So I know you have a crazy work rate, but for the people at home, what were you doing when you started your business and for how long before it started working?
Damn, well, to be honest with you, bro, people that look at this industry and they're like, oh, I tried drop shipping, I tried crypto, time to try video editing, right? That was definitely not the mindset I had. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been, selling sweets in school, selling other, illicit substances, but ultimately the passion was always there. I was making content. I got videos of me saying like action on the basketball court when I was 10 years old. I was messing around with video work. And eventually it just kind of spiraled into a career. I found more and more ways to make money. I was, selling shitty low budget music videos for a while, $150, $200 a pop, and eventually we went to the clubs. Then I started realizing that, all the running around stuff was, was fun. It was nice extra money, but the money was online. So I started 2 things. I started doing the YouTube channel, making passive income there. And I started editing for clients remotely over the internet. Eventually, we've just scaled that up into a community, an agency. And there's so many entry points to the money in this industry. I just think, you just got to fucking keep going.
Did you get into the UK party scene at all when you dropped out of school? If yes, what was that like? And how did you end up in entrepreneurship after that?
Yeah, I mean, I was already in entrepreneurship when the UK party stuff kind of happened. Obviously, the rave scene in the UK is kind of unlike any other country. Maybe in Europe somewhere they got some crazy stuff, Germany, stuff like that. But, I'd been a video creator, right, doing video game content on GTA 5 on my YouTube channel since I was like 13, 14. So by the time I'm 16, people start partying and stuff. I've been in the house playing video games for like 2 years. So I was bored of being in the house, bro. I was like, I want to start coming out. I get invited to some parties, whatever, boom, boom. And I went hard as hell in the UK party scene for years. I'll tell you, from 16 to 19, I probably partied harder than the 95% of the world will party in their entire life. And then eventually, just similar to how I burnt out with the video game stuff, eventually the party shit comes to a pretty abrupt halt, and you realize I'm 19 now. I got to sort my life out. And then, I'm probably still riding the momentum to this day since I pivoted at 19.
But what actually caused you to pivot? What caused you to be like, yeah, I need to fix up life?
Bro, my life eventually got pretty fucking dark for like 3 months. So in the past 10 years, there isn't a single time other than this 3 months that I haven't been actively working on something. So whether it was stupid things like just hustling on eBay, right? When I was younger, when I was 12, selling Legos, or when I was, 16, like I said, doing the GTA, trolling videos, whatever. But for this 3-month patch at around 18, 19, the shift point when I was turning 19, I was doing nothing. I was just getting fucked up every single day. The friendship circle around me had changed. I was hanging with different weird people that I probably didn't even recognize from a few months earlier. The core group had dissipated. They were gone. And I kind of woke up one day and the reality of the situation was something had to change. Cut all those people off. Got a shitty $200 a month office and uploaded a YouTube video every single day for an entire year. And I'm definitely an extreme person. So I've had some extremely dark times, but when I pivot, I go all in. And that's what we did.
What's the craziest thing you've seen looking out your window in London, bro?
So I used to live in top 5 worst neighborhoods in the entire of London, Turnpike Lane, Haringey. You can look it up. I was watching a movie one summer's eve with my girlfriend. We were watching a little movie, started hearing a commotion, right? It's sunny. It's hot rather. We're in like the top floor flat. So it gets hot in there. We got the windows open and everything. Hear a commotion on the street. Look outside. See a gang of people robbing someone on the street right down there. Then 2 minutes later, another dude walks down the street. They robbed him next. Saw a double robbery. And then maybe about a year before that, I looked out the window. I saw 4 dudes trying to rob the DPD man.
If someone was trying to make their first 5K online right now, what would your best piece of advice be?
It depends, honestly, how much experience they have, right? If they have the experience, I'd say package together whatever kind of case study or loose track record you can kind of make a case for. If you have no experience, no track record, people don't just hand over money for free. So your core goal should be focused on building that. And I actually think as a creative, it's pretty easy. You just go do some free work, right? Even 1, 2, 3 free projects, if done right, you can make the case that you've been out here doing a bunch of stuff. You can really package that and showcase it in a way, especially if they get results, that make you have a much easier time going and landing someone paid. Versus I've seen the people flip the script and they say, nah, I should be able to, I deserve, quite an entitled mindset without having the track record and the substance to the deal. And it's certainly hard to make people part ways with cash. So I'd say focus on the track record. And then I've marketed my track record. You've marketed your track record. It's quite easy. And I think that's what you even teach in the agency coaching is you've either got a case study or a guarantee. Pick it.
And then you mentioned that they need to do a lot of free videos for people. How many people should they be outreaching to? Because I'll get a lot of guys that tell me I've this many, that many. How many do you think?
You can actually do lower numbers, but higher quality and have a bigger effect. So one of my favorite strategies is the value first, right? We talk about it all the time. Pick 5, 10 creators who you actually believe in their content, you like it, and you know you can do some damage, aka you can actually improve it. Take their videos, download it, make it better, present it to them in a couple forms. You email it to them, you send it to them on Twitter, and you very nonchalantly, hey, what's up? I had a little bit of extra time, Cami. I wanted to improve your video. Here it is. It's yours to use. My blessing. But if you want some more, I've got some free time.
People have done that to me, and I've almost always given them at least like 1, 2 trial videos because it just works and you feel nice about it. You're like, oh, they did that for me.
And bro, the psychology is like this. If you're dealing with an influencer, right? You and me have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and we're at the lower tier of influencers. So if you're trying to outreach to these big multi-million subscriber creators, they only deal with people asking all day long. Handout, can I have? Can I have? Can I have? You come with a give, free value, it completely switches the script, it flips it, and they love it.
What's the story behind meeting your girlfriend?
Story behind meeting my girlfriend. She lived in one of the worst neighborhoods in all of London. Newham, actually close to where you're at. I lived in one of the worst neighborhoods in all of London. Turnpike Lane, baby. And we linked up. It only made sense.
Match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven.
Trauma bonding.
Trauma princess, right? Exactly. Trauma bonding.
What was your fuck this moment when you went all in?
What was my fuck this moment when I went all in? Probably when I dropped out of school at 17 years old. I'd been trying to get out of school for so long, right? I've been begging my mom, can I get out of school? It was a constant battle to get me to go to school, right? In the UK, they have the 70% attendance, right? When if your attendance goes below 70%, they start sending letters to your parents like, yo, is this child abuse? Like, is everything okay at home? I'm sure there's certain situations where like the parents are preventing them from going to school, right? And they do need to check. That certainly wasn't the case in my situation. I was actively just not trying to go to school, and I was making YouTube videos all day long, and I would keep telling my mom, I'm going to make it on YouTube, just let me get out of school, I'm going to make it on YouTube. Finally, at 17, you could go part-time classes online and drop out of college. So I dropped out of college 4 weeks in, went part-time classes online, never did that shit, grinded YouTube videos nonstop, and then, a few years later, boom, we had the business and it was crushing. So that was my kind of go all-in moment at 17 years old when I dropped out of school.
At your age, though, being a YouTuber wasn't really like such a thing. It was quite new. How did you know it was going to become business?
So I could just simply see that it had worked for all these people that I resonated with on the internet. And it was literally as simple as they sound like me. The story they have is like me. The parents didn't have much. They were kind of felt like they had to make it on their own. The story made sense. I really think, honestly, Cami, I got genuinely lucky being young because I found almost a carbon copy of myself on the internet. And they had such a similar story to me. And I could see where they'd gone. They were years ahead, and it just clicked. This is me. This is the profile of who I am. This is where I'm going. This is the path I'm on. And I'm 25 now. It's worked out. It's crazy, bro. Honestly, it's wild to think that I had this vision literally when I was 14 years old. When I was in school, bro, I rallied all my friends up, and I called them the LA Dream Team, right? I was like, we're grinding fucking YouTube videos, and the whole goal was we're gonna blow up on YouTube and move to LA and get a big ass mansion, right? Before LA had fallen. Now it's fallen. Now it's an actual shithole now. But back
sounds
then,
like like a film title. LA has fallen.
No, LA is fallen, bro. I swear, but no, it's crazy. That's how it all happened, bro. But
What was the moment when you realized that this was going to work?
I wonder if there ever was a moment where I realized this is going to work. Today's the moment I realized it was going to work. Wow, it's worked. Holy shit. We've actually, wow, we're in a fucking big studio. We do this all the time now. Holy shit. Honestly, I'd say now, genuinely. You don't know until it's happened. That's why, like, there's a great quote, be delusional. Because to be honest with you, delusion and vision start in the exact same place. The only differentiator is, do you make it? If I said when I was 15, LA Dream Team, we're going to blow up, all of us, we're going to blow up, and I didn't make it, I was delusional. But now that I sit here undeniably having made it, turns out I was a visionary. Who would have known?
Did you have any YouTube accounts when you were younger?
Bro, I've had countless. This is, again, like down to just the iteration cycle and, doing it over and over and over again until eventually you become a success. I probably had a dozen YouTube channels before I actually made It's Jug Here, which was the first one that blew up, which was 2 or 3 YouTube channels away from the one that I'm big on now, right? So it's like, when I was a kid, my favorite thing was like organizing clans. So like I had like clan YouTube channels like XX Ruffle and like all this random ass child clans. And like my big thing was I've always been a leader or organizer of people, and I'd be DMing people, yo, you're joining my clan. Like,
nice.
Join the clan, make a montage or whatever, and we'd be kind of curating that on our own YouTube channel. So, bro, I can't even tell you how many YouTube channels I've had, I swear.
What was school life like? Did you cause any trouble to people?
Oh, bro, well, I actually, like, low-key became a local celebrity in my school when I joined because, like, I was the only American kid, right? So it was like, everyone was calling me American Jack, right? Because they were all kids. They all, like...
J. Cole.
Yeah, bro, exactly. They call me J. Cole a little bit as well, but it was mainly American Jack, what's up? Say burgers, say French fries, say this, say that. So my school life was pretty funny, but I was a scrappy kid. I definitely got into some fights and stuff, and we were causing some chaos. And I fancy myself a bit of a class clown. Like I definitely didn't take school seriously because, like I said, I'd started to find the profile of who I was on the internet, so I knew I was an entrepreneur, and all of their story was not caring about school. So if I resonate with these people online so much, who are these entrepreneurs who go on to make it later, and none of them take school seriously, that's exactly what I did as well.
Yeah. Do you believe in work-life balance?
Yeah, I mean, so I actually believe in work-life balance once you're happy with your life. So I have had seasons similar to the seasons we talked about before, where I've had zero work-life balance, right? I'm actually a big proponent of, unless you're happy with your life, you should be working to change it, right? If you're not happy, what are you going to do? Are you going to go enjoy? What are you going to enjoy, right? When I was 19 years old, I got a $200 a month office. I didn't come out of that office for 2 years, 7 days a week. It was a point of pride to go in on Sundays. I'd work on my birthday. I'd even get booked in a nightclub on New Year's Eve to be taking the box of working on New Year's Eve, right? Filming the nightclub. And I was just so overwhelmed and dedicated to just getting out of that situation, changing my situation. And after those 2 years, 19 to 21, I had enough cash from the business to move to London. The story is what it is. We landed all the big club clients from there, got all the social proof, scaled the YouTube channel, built VP Plus, and arguably it would have never happened with a little bit of work-life balance.
Exactly. I love that. That's sick,
huge,
man.
Bro.
You tip the balance of scale so that you can have balance later on in life.
It's massive. I think it is. And I think like that's honestly why if you're young, right? If any of you guys are young, you need to squeeze the juice right now, because luckily by the time I turned 21, I'd built enough momentum and enough money. I could move to London. I could go support myself. Usually people mess around in those years, and we know I messed around a lot. I went pretty crazy as well, but ultimately I still built enough momentum that I was able to support myself. And if you don't and you become an adult, you naturally have work-life balance. You got a girl you got to take care of. You got a boss you got to appease. You got bills you've got to pay. You've got the council tax. What date is it right now? I got to pay the council tax. If you're young, you don't have any of those things. So you should be making the most out of being young to get yourself that foundation. And adult life has been very easy for me because my childhood life, we squeezed a lemon. We went hard as fuck. And if you flip it, I've seen a lot of people that have a hard time now because they didn't take advantage of those early days, man.
Do you ever take time off?
I do take a lot of time off now, to be honest with you, right? I'm a big weekend guy, to be honest, big brunch guy. Love a bit of brunch.
I love brunch.
Bro, listen, I love a little eggs Benny with with extra crispy bacon going. So I take a bit of time off now, definitely. And it's going into summer. I've got some nice vacations planned, etc., with the family, whatever, my girlfriend. But just per my work-life balance, answer, I didn't take any time off at all. In fact, I'll tell you one thing crazy right now. I remember being in that office in the summer, right, when I was hustling every single day, 7 days a week. And I remember looking on Instagram in between making videos, working on clients, and seeing people having a lot of fun, right? I forget who it was. There was a guy and his boys. They were traveling. They were blowing cash. They were going here, jet skis. And I remember literally watching it in the kitchen of the office block while I was making a sheet pot noodle or something like that, not to go back and put a shift in. And I remember literally thinking, I'm about 2 years away from having that fun. I got to sit in this office, I got to crack the hell on, delay gratification, delay satisfaction. And I know in the future it's going to hit. 2 years later, COVID hit. They wanted to shut stuff down. I had a lot more money now. I was crushing it. Me and my brother and my girl, we just took off to Portugal because they weren't locking Portugal down. We're like, we're not getting locked down here. Let's go to Portugal. Lived in Portugal for a month. Nice. Hotel hopping. Did like 7 spa hotels in 4 weeks. Like a new hotel every couple days. It was like a movie, right?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, holy shit. I remembered back being in the office and I was like, I've actually hit the point now where I can be the person doing the cool shit.
Crazy. That's so cool, bro.
Real shit, man. It's crazy.
You gotta, most successful people, they go for a point of watching everybody else get instant gratification.
Yeah.
And the ones that delay it are usually the ones that actually get to enjoy life later on.
Bro, big time. And like, you know, I could have gone out and had some level of fun that summer, right? But ultimately I knew that what I was working on was going to amount to something larger. And I knew there was more fun to be had out there in the future. And delaying gratification, even in things like the gym. Oh, I really want to eat this or that. Well, delay. Don't eat that. You know, stick to your diet. Or, you know, delay gratification. Don't fucking be a fat fuck. Go to the gym first and then come home and do whatever, right? Delaying that gratification and just being disciplined.
Facts, bro.
It's the best way.
What was a tactic that landed your first big client? Was it networking, outreach? How did you meet them?
Honestly, first big client was a ripple effect of networking. So
nice. When
I was on my heavy club grind back in the day, and I was taking anything, right? Anybody who'd respond to my message, I was outreaching on Facebook to events. I'd type in events near me, and I'd DM all the hosts, right, the promoters. Yeah. And some boys in London called Divide London, they were hosting an event at Egg, which is like a big nightclub.
I know
Egg
Egg.
London. Yeah, you know Egg. So
disgusting.
And then they were renting Egg. Absolutely sketchy venue. So I come on down, and this is funny, I was paid £100 for that gig. So I came up from Totnes, Devon, the countryside, on a coach to London.
£100?
To shoot it for £100, bro. And their event was an absolute failure. They lost money on it. Nobody turned up, and they lost money. And actually, they ghosted me. So a month goes by. I'm hitting them. Yo, give me my £100. It's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And eventually, one of the guys, good guy, he actually paid me out of his own pocket. He said, the other guys don't want to pay you. We lost money. I'm going to pay you. Gave me £100. Now, this person, obviously, I built a friendship with over the next few months because he just saved my ass. He gave me some money. It wasn't much money, but he was nice to do it. Now, he ends up going and getting hired at Cirque du Soleil, one of the biggest nightclubs in all of London.
Okay.
Now, because we were tapped in, he had kind of lied on the job a bit and said, yeah, I do video editing as well, but he got hired as a graphic designer. So one day they come to his desk and they say, well, you do video as well? Here, make this video for us because we need it. He hits me kind of panicking. Bro, like, fuck, they want me to do video. Can you do it for me? Can I pass it off as my own work, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I knew he was in position. It was a gamble. It might not have paid off. I could have just wasted my afternoon, but I said, he's in the right position. This can probably serve me down the road. Let's plant some seeds here. Did the video for him. He passed it off as his own work. They loved it. They booked Future 2 months later. Future, one of the biggest rappers in the world, and they needed a videographer. Now, I texted him right away. I said, this is your chance to repay me. Go make this happen. I want to film Future. He goes to him. He pushes me. He said what he said. I wasn't in the office, but whatever he said worked. I got my first big gig working for Cirque du Soleil. And I got to film Future. I saw Skepta in the club. I met Skepta. I saw all these other people, got a bunch of other people's connections. And then from there, that was my real entry into the large client scene. I filmed, Tyga, Lil Yachty, Fat Joe, Nelly, all these massive rappers. Bro. It would have never happened if I didn't do that free.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
You did a very smart gamble, though.
It was a gamble, bro. And that's the thing, bro. People don't want to do free work. That was more free work, bro.
Yeah, it is 100%. What is it like being able to give back to your family, bro?
It's incredible, bro. That's one of my favorite things. So like my mom works as a counselor and she's like a trained like psychotherapist counselor. And she was working doing a lot of stuff online, right? So she was doing a lot of online counseling and, you have to wake up at weird hours for it and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the first half of her day was a lot of like online remote counseling of people. And one of my big moves was basically just saying, listen, I want you to cut those hours in half. I'm going to subsidize your salary, right? I want to give you half of your salary. That was my initial first move.
Nice.
And take half the calls. Now she stopped all the calls and we're steadily scaling up her salary. So she's on a full-time salary from Jack Cole Productions. And that's one of those beautiful things. Outside of that, little things like contributing money to my dad's rent or even just being able to, my family's had a couple health problems, whatever the case may be. Thank God everything's fine now. But even just being able to stop work, be my own boss, and have enough cash to go and take care of that situation in a comfortable manner. And also not feel the pressure to have to be juggling 50 things at once. Being in control of both of those situations, I think, has felt fantastic.
That's awesome, bro. One of the things you're most proud of is not just being able to give money to your parents, but to be able to just take the random time to be with them.
Huge.
I can definitely relate because my sister had surgery in January.
Yep.
I just went to Bordeaux and I worked from there.
Yes.
My mom would have like a dentist appointment at a random time. If it wasn't for me being able to be my own boss,
Yes.
I'll have to take time off work, and then I might not be able to, and then I might not be able to be with them.
Huge.
And it was great. Also, my parents got COVID last year.
Yeah.
I just took the day to just look after them.
Yes.
And I was like, this is a blessing. This is so great. I don't have to take time off work or whatever.
Huge, bro. I've had similar things. Yeah, taking family to appointments, etc. Yeah, just you feel it in that moment where you're like, it's a Tuesday morning. I've just told myself that I'm taking the time off and taking care of them, and there's no one hitting my phone. Everything's fine. You know, that's one of the invaluable things about being your own boss, just being in charge of your schedule.
Yeah, it also trickles down to how you treat your employees. So, for example, one of my people that works for me, she was having like a mental health issue, and so I was like, just take a day for your mental health, bro.
Yeah, just take some time.
And then she felt a lot better and refreshed when she came back. So.
Huge. Yeah, so it's not only stuff you're able to do for yourself, but also that mindset of wanting to do it for someone else. And that's why, like, a mean boss, a mean manager, or whatever, they really don't get it at all. You know, like, you'll never deal with that for the most part from the highest point down because they get it, but it's always the kind of middle management, egotistical people that end up getting caught in it. But
did you get lazy when you started making money, or are you still just as motivated?
I'm just as motivated. I'm more motivated because stuff's actually fun now. I actually think, like, I've worked 10 years just to get to the starting point. Shit's finally fun. I have enough cash. Like I said, we blown $65,000 on the business in Q1 of 2024, bro.
That's great.
It's like just to have that budget to just go crazy with is a blessing. Also, we've been out here for so long that the game gets greater later. It's not just a fucking saying. Like, life gets greater later. You struggle in the start, you get momentum, and it's the snowball effect. You start off as a little snowball at the top. By the time you get to the bottom, you're going so fast, it's so big, it's picking up so much pace, so much momentum. The game gets greater later.
What's a quote you live by?
Quote I live by: the game gets greater later.
If you're a video editor trying to land your first client online, what would the first step be?
Make sure you got a track record. If you don't, go get a track record.
Is authority important for landing high-ticket deals?
Authority's everything, right? Like, I land my high-ticket clients because they see I'm not just a theorist, I'm a practitioner. The way I land $5,000 retainers is they see I'm a YouTuber, they see I've crushed YouTube, we can then show some evidence of the clients we've helped as well, and that combination of he's really a practitioner, he's really out here doing it for himself and other clients is the whole reason why we're able to land high-ticket.
Yeah, most clients see that you get like a few thousand views in videos and they think you're a wizard because they don't know how to do that. They can't do that.
Facts, exactly.
How do you build a personal brand that lands clients in 2024?
How do you build a personal brand that lands clients in 2024? Well, you build the personal brand around being an expert in your field. So if you're an expert in orange juice squeezing, right, and you just drain oranges all day long, you got the best technique, right? I bet you somebody comes along and pays you for that if you've made enough content around it.
That's fire. Or you make your own products out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your own products, and you launch that product.
Orange juice squeezing course.
Massive, bro. Huge.
Squeeze 30 liters of orange juice in 30 days or you get your money back.
I'd be buying, yeah, right? Perfect guarantee. I'd be buying that shit all day, bro.
What do your days look like? Has anything changed as you made all your money?
Yeah, definitely. It's more calls now. Like that's it. Like, a lot of my stuff is calls, so I don't really edit at all ever, right? The only thing I do for editing now is composing things or syncing different angles and sending those files to my editors or whatever. But yeah, a lot less editing now, a lot more calls, a lot more delegating, and you know, I pay salaries that are more than I used to make in a month. So definitely, you shift more to managerial stuff rather than being nitty-gritty in it. And I think the quote is, you start working on the business rather than in the business.
Yeah. Love that. What makes working online so good?
Working online so good, you can pick it up and go anywhere, right? Simple as that. So I think, like, you know, I'm in two camps, right? I've tried to do heavy work abroad, and it's certainly not the easiest because your routine isn't there or you're not quite as comfortable. Working in the hotel lobby seems nice on Instagram and by the poolside.
Or the beach.
Bro, the sun, you can't do it. So if anyone ever posts the laptop next to the beach or the ocean, they just took a pic, bro. They didn't do any work there, bro.
And they walked away.
Yeah, bro. You can't work there because the sun's fucked. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
What are the biggest positives of running a content creation agency?
Biggest positives, I guess, is having ways to test and get paid to test. So, like, there's things that we've seen work for our clients that we are paid to try, that we've been able to take some of those principles over to my own YouTube channel. So I think one of the biggest things is creating an environment where you're paid to test new things, which actually can even help you in your own journey.
How do you promote your offer without coming across too pushy or salesy? Could you offer something for free to warm up your leads?
Yeah, for sure. So you can offer free sales assets, right? But my favorite thing is just a two-part call structure where the first call is zero sales at all. And in fact, if they ask for prices, I don't even really want to give them, to be honest with you. I just want to feel them out. So adding a discovery call instead of just trying to Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, close, that personally creates a lot of stress and anxiety in me. I like the cool, calm, collected first call where I'm just prying on information. If they have a coaching program, oh, how many people did you sign up last month? It was a record month. Okay, well, how many? Oh, well, fantastic. That's giving me data. I found out how much they're making covertly. And, just poking them a little bit and gathering data in that first discovery call, even using it as a sales point to say, listen, I'm not a pushy sales guy. I never try and close on the first call. I just want to find out if we're a good fit. Eases tension, makes it both parties feel at ease. And that's should been absolutely massive. But lead magnets work as well. Giving them like a free sales asset, something to kind of, sink their teeth into and get them on the hook can work fantastic. We've got one for you.
Is video editing in danger because of AI?
So it will be still editors who are operating the AI. So if you're like a low-tier commodity editor who just does nothing but Hermosi captions, right? Yeah, sure. You should probably be afraid of AI, right? There's AI that already do that. AI isn't going to become sentient and start taking jobs. It will be the editor who's operating the AI that will take your job.
The one that adopts the technology fast.
Exactly, and learns how to use it, right? So get your prompts up. Prompts might be like the number one thing of the future is how good of a prompter are you of the AI?
Is video editing saturated? What can you do to stand out?
Video editing is definitely saturated. If you're a fucking loser. So the reality of the situation is everything's saturated if you're going to do the bare minimum. But if you want to upskill, get some substance to your offer, build more of a package rather than just the chops and cuts, then 100% it's not saturated. And I really think that if you can build a personal brand, if you can command authority, if you can even, have a deeper level to you as a freelancer, you as an agency, you as a creator, it's definitely not saturated.
What legacy do you hope to leave behind as a video editor and educator?
As a video editor and educator, I don't really know if I have any answer for that. As a person, as an entrepreneur, I want people to look at my career and be inspired by the fact that he always believed. He really said from the start that he was going to do it, went on, got it done, and achieved a massive result and inspired the next generation. So the craziest thing for me now is time goes quick. I'm sure you've experienced, right? You go from 20 to 25, whatever, it's so quick. So I was the kids that we teach now in VP Plus, our community. I was them, feels like yesterday. Now all of a sudden I'm teaching them and they're in a similar position to me. That's the stuff that I love, and they're inspired by the fact that I'm at the kind of tail end of that. I've done it all there at the start. And I think the legacy of Jack Cole, the entrepreneur, and really Jack Cole, the visionary, that's what I want to leave behind.
How important is social media presence for video editors looking to land clients?
Massive. It actually enables you to land higher ticket clients because you have more substance. So if somebody's just an editor versus the personal brand that's bigger and they've got all this exciting stuff going on for them, they can simply command more rates because they have more substance to the offer.
What are some common misconceptions that people have about making money through video editing?
That it's another one of the internet hustles. So my least favorite person to talk to is somebody who has tried crypto and they've tried drop shipping and they've tried insert hustle here, and now they finally come to video editing as purely a means to make money. And it usually doesn't work like that. The killers, the upper echelon of creators, yourself, myself, all the other names that we could sit here and do, they all start from a passion perspective and they find a way to turn it into a job later on and find the money, basically. And the people that usually get burnt out, quit, actually even might call video editing a scam, are purely looking at it from a money-making perspective.
Do people often underestimate how difficult it is after you land the clients?
100%. Yeah, because, landing the client is the fun part, right? Then you obviously have the work that you got to do, right? So yeah, definitely. The best thing you can have there is have experience, right? Once you've been through it a couple times, the onboarding's always pretty similar, but people always underestimate the work. They ain't paying you for no reason. They're paying you for results. And the big thing people underestimate is if there ain't no results after a few months, they're leaving you. So you are on the clock as soon as that check hits. In fact, the check sometimes can make you nervous because now you got to perform.
Yeah, actually, I find that the videos that I get paid for are my worst because I'm stressed about making money for it. Whereas the ones that I have no financial incentives are the best, the most creative.
Yeah, huge.
What inspired you to start your journey in video production, and why did you pivot to editing?
So I started my journey in video production because I wanted to be a YouTuber. That is the absolute reason I wanted to be a YouTuber. I learned how to edit videos to edit my YouTube videos, right? So by the time I turned 18 years old and all of a sudden everyone was getting a job, you had to get a job. What are you going to do, Jack, to make money? I already had the skills of editing. So Upwork.com, I was actually a big proponent of freelance websites back in the day. I started getting remote editing work on Upwork.com on freelance websites, started crushing it. But by the time I had to make money and, get a job, I had these skills of editing and I was able to translate that straight into to making cash.
How do you know what to charge your clients at the start?
Because we do a discovery call and we find out how much cash they have. So there's some crypto clients we closed recently. They have a significant capital raise from their venture capital capital funds and they're making a lot of money. They're a different type of client. We're doing eerily the same thing for them as our 3K client, but they're paying 5. Simple as that.
Can you give some advice for staying motivated and inspired in your video editing career?
Yeah, definitely. It's like anything, right? Ain't nobody coming to save you, baby, right? Either you can roll over, die, and they would have forgotten about you in a couple years, or you can rise like a phoenix from the ashes and take over. And, you know, I certainly choose that one every single time. So no one gives a damn if you make it or not. By the way, it's not personal to you. No one gives a fuck if I make it or not either, right? I do. So I'm going to make it. If I have to choose between going hard as hell and eventually making it, but having a lot of stress along the way, or having equally, if not more stress and not making it, right? Both things are hard. I'm going to choose the successful path every single time.
Do you give people your time or do you value your time? If so, how much does time mean to you?
Yeah, I give people my time. In fact, I'm actually a big proponent of being humble to the core. So my energy makes people think that I'm quite arrogant or I'm quite outgoing. It's quite an energetic thing, but at the core, I'm actually extremely humble. So when I started in 2023 and we built Video Production Plus, I could have come at it from a very egotistical perspective. I've got 400,000 subscribers. I built this whole thing. You got to pay me for my time. I did 300 free calls in 2023 to build the VP Plus community. I truly humble. Didn't think, oh, you got to pay me for this. Didn't charge a penny to anybody. And they weren't short calls. I had hour calls, some of them, right? They weren't 2 minutes. They weren't 5 minutes. They were 30 minutes to an hour, a lot of them. And I paid my dues, and we've built one of, if not, I think we might be the single biggest online video editor community for remote video editors. That didn't happen by thinking I was the dog's bollocks, by thinking I was the man. It happened by being truly humble and paying my dues.
What is it like running a community, and what's your favorite part of it?
It's great running a community. Honestly, I wish they had stuff like this when I was coming up, right? There was basically nothing like this 5-6 years ago. So my favorite part of it is seeing people that I resonate with, the young jacks, if you will, right? The young hustlers, and seeing just how quickly they take things and how they crush it, and just having a imprint on the next generation. It's eerily similar, a lot of the things they're going through, right? Like, stuff changes, but it doesn't change that much. The fundamentals are the same. So being able to help the kind of next generation, the young jacks, so to speak, is the thing I love the most, even though it sounds a bit corny.
I love that, bro.